David Erdos back with a new piece. I recently did a poem for the Rolling Stones' new album, so it seems only fitting that I should try and pay tribute to the Beatles' last song. Now and when. Is it any good? That's the point. But does it need to be? Is the question. As it is, this last Lennon is reason enough to tune in. As McCartney and Starr lay the ground for the unwound road, death soon shortened, and an ironically McCartney-esque lyric, as most of latter Lennon's are, shows no sin. But it is discernible, all the same, even though he was always straightforward. Just listen to God, or Mother, Woman, or poignantly Borrowed Time, which is on Milk and Honey. That haunts, while now and then empathizes, as the Fab Four fall in together for a final refrain, all feels fine, with the full and touching story enclosed, especially with a trip through Love Me Do on the flip side. This is perhaps Paul and Ringo's love letter to John and to George, lost so young, at 40 and 58. But then George was, even while older, the youngest, and in so many ways the most witty in terms of what was said, if not sung. Both of these dead men were brave, facing attacks from a lunatic fringe hanging heavy. Both became sacrificial so that their partners in song could go on. I'm sure that Townsend and Daltrey feel this in Losing Moon and Entwistle. And thus the Beatles, with bass and drums left, could seal song. But then each great group has a pact from which time and tide make an island. Now and then, as a title, provides enough premonition to make all of Lennon's lasts prophecies. And the Beatles were, and are, biblical. They are enough these days to believe in. Never, of course, quite the image upon which we were raised, we still see a fresh formation for gods, as we currently understand them. And so this song, sweetly spun from the 60s, has its late 70s shimmer, as well as a repeal for the day to reconsider the past. And the rich is won, lost and squandered. Its stately piano chords show this as its slow swirl of guitars holds full sway. It is literally a song of two worlds, earth harmonizing with heaven, a song seance singing through an Ouija-led microphone. McCartney's own fits right in, as does some of George's last playing. AI reconstructed, Harrison's howl has more tone, and Lennon more gain than Free as a Bird did for starters. And this is a John we imagine as he becomes instrument, and not the often edgy legend of old, complete with familial trauma, and a Secret Service file squatting over what they deemed dark intent. His ghost and glasses refract the former complications of living, what with half the band angelled and half angled now at the edge of the within and without, or stood by the Blue Jay way, leading nowhere, with two nowhere men returned to us and to those they left behind, like Cain's sledge. Now and then's not the song that should have formed their finale. Alive now, I am certain they would have done one of their old fan club Christmas songs, or sounded like ELO, or Tears for Fears, or Oasis, or perhaps they'd have Floyded or rock and rolled the last gong. Something momentous to end pop music's first genius story. 4 middle to working class heroes who in 4 short years near evolved. This last leaf leaves the tree, which will remain ever standing. It is not complete. Men were murdered by cancer and gun. Nothing's solved. And yet what was soured tastes sweet, thanks to the elegance of it. The dignity and the beauty of friends in flesh playing in perfect sync with the soul. It is not the reunion we sought, but it is all we have, and feels fitting. As boys in their 40s and 80s stand equal, knowing that while then holds the substance, the long and absent now still feels whole. David Erdos, the 3rd of November, 2023.